Hi, welcome to my live stream again. Here we are, another try to do a live stream. I didn't bother trying to announce this one because I didn't know when I was going to get started. I just basically got home a little while ago, ran around, grabbed some stuff that I'm going to need today. And today we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the cylinder head check. So I've got the first cylinder head out here. This is the front one. I'll check that one. If it turns out okay, we'll pull the other one out. We'll check that one too. Let's see what we got. Let's go ahead and move the camera around and let's see what we got here. While I'm moving the camera around, I'm going to talk about a couple things. Let's start with all the tools I use. I try to put too much. I always try to put in the description of what I'm doing. Try to keep it in that area right there. I have to move it again once I get on the headstand. Let's go from here. Okay, so here's the cylinder head. First thing I want to do, this is why I should save my old rags. Take a couple rags. Ball them up, put them in the combustion chamber area on the cylinder head. And what that does, it just gives me a little buffer zone. Because what I'm going to do is take a socket and tap each valve spring to try to break it loose. Because sometimes these things move together up and down. They're always moving up and down together. So if you give it a little tap, what you're doing is you're giving it some excitation, especially with the rag underneath there. You're popping it free. Sometimes, in my experience, that the keeper will go ahead and pop out for you also. I think I left some stuff over there. Damn it. Which I'll have to get. Not a big deal. Only a few feet away. Take the rags back out. So now I know that I'll be able to get the valve springs out in a normal manner. Alright, so now the first thing I want to do is I want to take a look at how flat my head is. So what I find the easiest way to use these headstands is to put them in first, and then grab the whole thing and flip it over and over and make sure it's stable. Make sure these are flat, make sure it's stable, and I'll take a look. Now what I want to do, I want to take a look to see how flat this is. So to do that, now that's what I noticed. The dowels might be falling. I might need to order some dowels because the other one went. Right there. Anyways, I noticed that they weren't in the block. Maybe the other one is in the block. Those dowels are what's centering, so I may have to get them. So let's go ahead and scrape it. I got the scraper. I grabbed some tools from the shed earlier. And I threw them over here. Let's grab this rusty old razor blade too. Oh, that's fine. Forget it. I got the scraper. I wanted to grab some more tools. I'm just going to take this blunt scraper. This is a blunt scraper. It's not a sharp scraper, and I'm just going to lightly give the cylinder head a nice quick scrape this time. Unlike the last time we checked flatness, I didn't scrape it first. I just winged it. But you can see the carbon on this one. See that carbon coming off. Now if it's a little warped, it's okay. I don't know what that is. It's a little warped. See that? See that little piece of whatever that is? It's a little warped, and you can have the head milled flat. If it's extremely warped, over 10 thousandths warped, you need to replace it. I need a straight edge we used the other day. Go ahead and grab the feeler gauge kit that's in here. Came with this one. Metric. No, it's thousandths. Okay. Go ahead and take a peek here. Well, definitely a thousandths warped. I mean, you can see that. Yeah, you can see that. thousandths, 2 thousandths. So 3 thousandths is what we got here. A little more on this one. That's not good. This head probably should be milled. Yeah, 4 thousandths on that side. It's odd because this engine never overheated. Not that I ever know of. We had this car since 2004, and I don't remember it ever being overheated. But a little better. That's a little better. That's better. Yeah, so I just didn't scrape it enough. There we go, 1 thousandth. I didn't scrape it enough. That's what I expect. Okay. Alright, so it's fine. So you gotta scrape it good. Alright, so you also would check it here and here and all that stuff, but if you're good across here, chances of being warped this way, you're fine. I'm not seeing it right. We can check it real quick with that 1,000. But you can see it's got to be scraped really good. That's good. Again, scraping it. The reason why I'm setting it on top is because if I jab it underneath, if I keep jabbing it underneath, it's going to bend it up. Every time. That's because I was on top of that. If I'm trying to jab it underneath here, I'm going to bend these up. And I don't know about you guys. I don't like to buy tools all the time. I like to buy tools once and hopefully never have to buy one again. So I like to take care of my tools. So I find the easiest way to do it is to shove it underneath. I'm bending it now. Just to shove it underneath. And then try pulling it out to find the gap on these. And again, this still isn't perfectly clean, but it's good enough. I knew it would be. I had a feeling it would be. Let's just set these over here for now. Let's put it down out of the way somewhere. In case we need it for the other head. I say in case we need it for the other head, because I don't know, I just have a bad feeling about this. Alright, so now let's go ahead and flip this over. So what you can do is you can try picking it up, and you can try looking for those holes if you so much want to. This is what I was telling you. I like to put them in first and then flip it. Nice and tight. Good to go. Alright, valve spring compressor time. So, the way this valve spring compressor works, you've got this part, and you've got, I'm missing a piece. You've got this part. Hopefully this fits. What you do is you would take the adjustment down on this until it closes. This part goes on the valve face itself, the valve backing piece. This goes down on top of the valve. Close the sucker like that. Now we tighten it down. Really tight. This is on the camera, right? I'm close. Oh, what do we got here? Sorry about this, guys. I keep forgetting. I gotta adjust the cameras once in a while. Let's get in all that sucker. Okay. So as I was saying, the bottom piece goes on the flat part of the valve. I'll show you when I do the next one. Get around the table now. Jackass. So now what you do is you tighten the handle on the bottom. Right there. And you launch until the keeper's free. And once the keeper's free, take a magnet, pull it out. That's one keeper. You want to be careful, as keepers like to go flying. And they're not cheap. I had wanted to get a cup to put those in, but I forgot. And then to release it, you just release the handle. That releases the valve spring. And then you very carefully push this down. Now you want to be careful. This isn't drummed over. Now because there's a roller setup and it's got a roller tip on here, it shouldn't be flattened out. But just drop this out and remove it. Alright. I'm gonna put that there. For now. So that is cylinder 6. Alright, let's do another one. Now usually once you have it adjusted for one, this will work for the rest. Make sure you got that on the valve underneath. Take this. Give it the old heave ho. Make sure the keepers are loose. Use your magnet. Suck them out. The way you have to do it. Easier said than done sometimes. Sometimes if you have to add a little tighten, you can. Never hurts. Putting them together can be a bit funky. Now sometimes you take the pick and just kind of release it from its captiveness and pull it out. There's another pair of keepers. Release it. Another valve spring. Another valve. Let me feel that. That doesn't feel so bad. That exhaust one. Felt like poo. All right, and you basically can go along. Let me do one more. Around the valve. Squeeze them. Take your pick. Shake her loose. Be careful if it falls down too far, it can become a pain. You want with a magnet. Pull it out with a magnet. Easy peasy. Nice and easy. Another valve spring out. Another valve out. That's an intake valve. How do your valves look? The cylinder 3 was the one that leaked out the intake. And if you look, it's got valve deposits on there. That white stuff? Now that's the valve face right there, so that's not deposits. That looks like pitting. That looks like pitting to me. I have to look to see too. That's the one that was leaking. We did a leak down to start. This tool can make your life easier sometimes. This tool works great for removing. I've never had very good luck getting it to reinstall them. But these work great for removing. It's got a magnet down here. So you just set it on there, give it a tap. And what it does is the magnet sucks the keepers out. Like that. And allows you to just pop these off. Like that. Then slide your valve out. Put it here. And take your keepers. Get them out of their holes. Or this hole, I should say. One keeper. Two keeper. I prefer to get the keepers out now than the late keeper build up later. You could use needle nose for this if you want to. Maybe drawer. Needle nose, needle nose, needle nose. Pull that out. Go to my pile of keepers and move on to the next valve. Set it on top. This is nice for removing. For reinstalling, I'm not a fan. Thing, valve mount, set it on top. Nose. Keepers out. 1, 2. My last valve for this head, and the heads is disassembles. I'm going to take it except for those seals. If I'm going to reuse this head, I'll take the seals out. Let's not fall down there. There's a little bushing piece that goes down there so it doesn't fall in there, but the problem is that bushing piece come up here. That's what you don't want. You want to drop your keepers. That's what I told you not to do. Drop the keepers. Okay, and that's it. That's an intake valve. Yeah, that's an intake valve. Those keepers. There's one. Alright, and that strips that head down as far as I'm going to strip it, with the exception of pulling these off, which I'll do later. I'm not going to do that now. Now these are valve seals. I'm not going to pull those off yet. Now we're going to flip it. Let's see what we got here. Flip it back over. See, now I'm stuck. I hammered it, so of course, once you hammer it, it's going to go piece, sliding, make a mess. Missed. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at the valve seats next. Valve seats. Now these valve seats are not plugged in. Of course you're not. Why would you be? Plug this in. Let's go ahead and take a look at these valve seats. What you're looking for is you're looking for pitting. Looking for pitting, scoring, some slight pitting there. Just buff it up. You just need a whole valve job. Just buff it out. Look like just deposits. Oh man, it look like pitting, but not pitting. Looks like just carbon embedded on top of. So I could take some emery cloth or some Scotch Brite and clean that. If the valve guide is good. Or that one anyways. Now you see all this crap right here, all these deposits? That's not deposit, that's sand. That's what that is. I that fell off the intake. I took the intake off. Take a look at this one. That doesn't look too bad. That can be buffed. This was our leaker. This one was our leaker. You can see a difference in this one. You can see. Looks a shiner. Now these are hardened valve seats. They can be replaced. I don't have the equipment to do that. To do it, you have to cut them out. You have to use a machine to cut them out, just like you would do a valve job, except you're going to go extreme. That's not too bad. That valve seat actually looks pretty good, and that's the one that was giving me problems. It's got to be a valve problem. And that one right there doesn't look too bad. All right, let's take a look at this exhaust over here. Same thing, carbon buildup that can be buffed off. Carbon buildup that can be buffed off. And the intake seats look good. All right, that's the intake seats. All right, front to back. Yeah, this is right. Okay, so now I want to check. The first one's the one that felt like crap. So now I want to check how this fits in here and how much it moves back and forth. That does not look good. That might be the clincher on this engine. That might just be the end of this engine. This might just be the nail in the coffin of this engine. Still gotta look at the valve face, but this to me is a little bit more important because I know let's get the dial. Put it in here. Now, again, these valve guides can be replaced. There are special tools to do it. I can do it, but I don't have the tools, so I would have to buy the tools. And this project is not worth the buying of those tools. Plain and simple. This project is a 170,000 mile car with get this on the valve area like that. And we can go ahead and tighten this up. Showed you guys this the other day. Let's lock it down. Now you're like, why are you locking it down? You only have the carbon on the valve. I'm trying to get it on the valve. Trying to get her on the valve. Like that. Now let's go ahead and push it back a little bit. Set it on here. Get it as close to 0 as possible. Let's go ahead and move it back and forth. Come on. Stay on 0. Can you guys see that? Going back and forth. We've got about I want to stay. Doesn't want to stay concentric. 5, 0. It keeps moving because I keep moving the valve. That's what I've got for play right there. So we've got 5 to 13. So 5 minus 13 is what? 5 minus 13 is 8 divided by 2. That's 4. And that's what you do. You have to measure it here, and then divide that by 2. And that will give you the amount of play around each part of the valve. You have to divide it by 2. I see on the main screen there's a bit of a glare coming from probably this light. Maybe this light. No, it must be this light. I'll kill both these lights. That didn't help. Probably see if that's there. Basically move this back and forth in the direction that you have the dial indicator on. And give you math. I mean, I'm not doing it as extreme as I was when I just did it. I don't know if you guys can see it through the head camera, so I'm doing it this way. But you're gonna move back and forth, and you're going to divide by 2. And the spec for this is between 1 to 2.7 thousandths. 1 to 2.7 thousandths. Let's see. I don't know if you guys can read it from here either. You can take my word for it, I guess. I'm putting it up here like I'm reading like I can see it. 1 to 2.7 thousandths is my valve stem clearance. And this is actually how they want you to measure it for this vehicle. Sometimes they'll have you measure the valve stem, and sometimes they'll have you measure the valve guide and then do math. This is how they want you to do it, and this is the way I actually prefer to do it because it's so much easier. Because to measure this hole, you either have to have a set of pin gauges, and I have some pin gauges for some engines, or a ball gauge, which is a gauge you put down and you tighten it up, and it opens up until you could read it where it's got a feel to it. And again, you're going by feel, so it's a matter of technician's choice on that one. Then you measure the ball, then you measure the valve stem, and then you do math. You can use pins to see what fit and what doesn't fit, and sometimes you can do that. It's actually a good idea to do that. But this is the best way to do it. Move this back and forth like I did. Get the measurement, the maximum and the minimum like I did, and you can see it moves a lot when I do that. And if the valve guide is too big, you really don't have much choice but to do something with the head now. Now, back in the old days when you had cast iron cylinder heads, what you would do is you would either ream the size bigger and get bigger sized valve stems, or you would knurl the hole, which is a way of actually making the hole smaller. You cut into the steel, and it causes it to slice into the metal and causes it to bow out, kind of like this. So you get where it was flat, cut it, and it kind of like bows it out around the edges, and then you ream that, and that works pretty good. I'm just not sure if that's something I want to do to this engine, because it's not an acceptable repair anymore. Nobody can tell me why, but it's not. But these valve stems come in and out, and you can push them out. That one there looks like it's a lot higher than these two, but that might just be the way they ended up. But you have to push them out, and you have to push new ones in, and you have to cut them to the bottom, so it's in the hole correctly, and then you have to ream it. And then once you do that, and then you have to do your 3-angle valve job. As much as I have the work to do the 3-angle valve job, and I have the stuff, look at this valve. I have the stuff to clean these valves out. I have the stuff to clean these valves up. Pits. These exhaust valves have a lot of pits in them. Those little white marks right there, that's shit sitting in pits. Those are pits. Yeah, so these heads are done. These heads can be fixed, but like I've been saying, 170,000 miles. I have to decide what I want to do. So that's pretty much going to be probably it for this motor. I guess I'm not going to go any further on it. I see no point in beating a dead horse. It's an old car. It's done me well. It owes me nothing. I thought maybe I could give a little back to it. Was my only thinking on it. But at this point, I mean, I'll sleep on it. But at this point, I'm kind of thinking it's not worth it. Put $1,500 in a car to make it last a year. Let's see if it'll stay stable like this. Turn these around. turn these around, make it stable. There we go. It's stable. What I want to do is I want to try putting these back. I'm gonna try putting these back with that tool. I'll show you how to put them back together since we're doing this, right? So with this tool, there's that piece. There's this piece, and there's the other piece, which I put away somewhere so I wouldn't get lost. This goes inside of here. This goes on top of here, and somehow I think we just kind of put these in their spot. I think I've only had this happen. I think I've only done this successfully once. Not the way I like to put valves back together and the cylinder heads that I care about. This might work better on the table with. Yeah, I probably should put it on the table. Yeah, see how the valve go. Put it on the table. Let me get rid of the stand. Let's throw that on the ground. Put that on the ground. Put this on the table. Shove a rag underneath here. Push the valve up. There we go. Now the valve's up. Now let's give this a shot. Now, again, I haven't had too much luck with this one. But basically, you set this up like this. The keepers are in their spots. This thing right here is going to help guide the keeper in. You sit it on here, give it a good hard whack like that. Like I said, let's get a bigger hammer. What the hell? Not like I can damage it. Watch my hand here. There we go. That actually looks pretty good. And then you just move on to install the rest. I probably should put that other valve up in there. Valve up. What the hell's all that goo? Like something's living in it. It's like something's living in it. You guys can't really see what I'm doing, can you? I'm sorry. I keep forgetting the cameras don't move for me. There we go. I keep forgetting the cameras don't move for me, and I know it's hard to see on the head camera because it's such a wide angle when I'm far up. I mean, it's really not, because when I do this, you can see stuff pretty good. But I'm not like, I don't work like this all the time. Because it's really close to my face, and while I am far and nearsighted, I still can't see it very well. All right, let's get this in the hole. Slide this up in the hole. Put the valve spring on. Let's put the old keepers in. At least I'm in a good mood for an engine that's no good, right? And again, I can fix this thing, but I have to, you know, figure out what's best for everything. All right, let's give this a good hard whack. Yeah, like that. See, so you can see when it comes to installing them, this is a little faster than the other one. I'll do the last two the other way. These are stick these in my holes. Shoot it around underneath. Put the valve spring on top. Put the keepers in the holes. So, I don't know what I'm going to do with these inner parts. I don't know if I should hold on to them. I don't know if I should junkyard them. I don't know if I should. I don't know. Getting good at it now. I'm getting kind of good at it now. I'm just not big on beating things together, I think is my thing. I mean, I'm all for swinging the hammer when I need to. When it comes to assembling parts, I'm not a fan. Bigger hammer definitely is helping because I'm definitely pushing that spring down enough. So I've got it kind of like pre-lined up. The keeper slot, a little keeper slot that grabs the grooves. There's a groove in the keeper. Let me show you. There's a groove in the keeper. Use the head cam. You guys don't like that. That's okay. So there's a groove in the valve, and there's an indent, a reverse groove on that, and that's what grabs, and then it wedges itself in the cap to hold it. Let's try this one more time. There we go. And that's 4 valves in. Let's pick up the headstands again. I'll show you how to do the other way. So people are wondering, why, Ken? You do YouTube live videos. What's the deal? Well, I figured out it's a way I can talk to myself. People can't like say you're crazy because I'm talking on video. Nobody may go, we watch these things, but hey, at least I'm not crazy, right? No, we get some views here and there. If somebody learns, that's all that really matters. Alright, so a couple ways you can do this. You do the same thing we were doing before. Put the keepers in. Line it up, set it up. Grab our valve spring compressor. Come in here, lower it down, line it up gently. Gently kind of roll it down. Take the keeper. Put it in the key. Put it in the key. And then slowly release it. So you see, that doesn't take too long either when you know how to do it. Now, the first time you do this will probably be a lot like the first time I did it. I'm not going to lie to you. It's a pain in the ass. I'm not going to lie to you. What some people do is they'll put some white lithium grease on the grooves or the keepers, or some kind of grease on there, and what that does is it'll help it stick to the groove, because sometimes it'll like keep falling out and stuff. So that's a little trick you could try. You most certainly could use that tool to do it if you feel comfortable enough to do that. I don't like to beat things together. That's just myself. Call me silly and stuff. Whatever. To me, it's whatever works for whatever you're doing. That's it. And now it's together, and that's it. The cylinder head is back together the way we found it. Exactly we found it. Now, I had put this together. Yeah, see my camera guys, let's focus again. I had put this together to let's see. I should have kept it like that, right? This won't be my last cylinder. So I had put this together, and this is what I was going to use. This is the transmission side. So I was going to go this way, and I was going to put my valves up through the bottom and put my springs on the top. I was going to keep them nice and neat on the table over here. That's what my plan was. As plans go, the cylinder head's not worth going through. Basically, I have a lot of scrap metal now. It's fine because I got to make a dump run anyways. What I got for you today? Like, subscribe, enjoy. I know we didn't get anywhere near where we hoped to. Yet another reason why I didn't take the exhaust manifold off, because yeah, I've got scrap metal now. All this work we've been doing over the last couple days, which didn't cost me a dime to do except for time, was for nothing. But again, it was worth a shot. I will look into if there's any hope for this, but I don't think there is. So I'll make a decision. I've got some thinking to do, but it looks to me like it's probably done. I'm probably going to go ahead and future videos coming up probably in the next couple weeks will probably be me working on a 2009 Ford Escape that I picked up a couple months ago, cheap. Only has 90,000 miles. Needs a little work. Needs a little work on the paint job is the worst thing. Otherwise, everything else is just mechanical stuff. Strut, um, sway bar links, maybe some new struts. We'll see. But I need a car to drive to work. That's not going to cost me an arm and a leg to drive. I've been borrowing the wife's van, and man, it is really a lot more money in gas than my Grand Prix was, which is why I kept that Grand Prix because it was good on gas. Which is why I wanted to revive it. But that Focus, I said Focus, right? Did I say Focus or Escape? Because I have an Escape too. The Focus should be good on gas, so I'm probably going to get that registered in the next week or so, and do a video outside. We'll see how that works out. I'm going to do a video outside to see how what that car needs to keep it on the road good. How long I'll keep that car, I don't know. I may not keep it long. The big thing is going to be the body work. I'm not going to videotape the body work. I don't do a whole lot of body work. It's going to need some paint on the hood, the scratches on it. So I'm going to need to try to sand and buff it out. And I don't think it will. I think it's through the clear coat and into the base coat, down to the primer. In which case, I'm going to need to sand, touch up, clear coat, and buff the entire hood and the entire trunk lid. The rest of the car is not bad. It's just the hood and the trunk lid. So I'm going to go ahead and attempt to do that. I'm going to do that myself. I haven't painted in a very long time. But it's a lot cheaper to paint yourself than it is to have something do for you. I won't be videotaping that. I'm not comfortable doing that myself. I'm comfortable taking things apart, putting them together, working on mechanical stuff. I'm not comfortable doing body work in front of YouTube yet. I will show you the beginnings. I'll show you the ends, but I'm not showing you procedures. Not until I get good at it. But that's really it. Thank you for watching. Sorry we didn't get any further on this motor. I've done motors in the past. I'll do motors again, so I'm sure this won't be the last time we touch a motor. This is my own personal car. It's not somebody else's. And I had something to do. 170,000 miles on a car. It's got rust in the rocker panels. It's got a dented hood from where it hit a deer. It's got a crushed roof where a tree fell on it. It's been through a lot. And maybe it's time to retire it. Maybe you'll be happy it'll be retired. I mean, it owes me nothing. We've had it since 2004. We were making car payments on it. We stopped paying car payments on it probably in 2007. Haven't had a car payment on it since. It's been very reliable. It's never broke down on me except for when the engine seized up. I really cannot complain about that car, which is why I was giving it a shot to see if I can get it back together. But at this point, I'll have to do some thinking. If I decide to put it back together, we'll make more videos about this. But I don't think I wouldn't count on it. I tell you the truth. Don't go looking for other videos. You may not find them. I'm not counting on me putting any more money. The money I want to put in this car, I can put in the other one, which is a car I bought to flip. And I will probably still flip that one because I don't really care for the car. That's really it. Thanks for watching. I'm going to end the stream now. Thanks.